We're just moments away now from seeing video of the president reacting for the first time to the Supreme Court decision upholding the president's travel ban. This was the third iteration of the travel ban. They had taken out one or two countries and they'd added in Venezuela and North Korea. The Trump administration argued that therefore this was not focused on Muslims as a religion, but in fact focused on the issue of danger in terms of security threat to the United States. The Supreme Court believed that argument. John Roberts, the Chief Justice, writing the opinion today, and we heard from the president just a few moments ago calling this a great victory for the nation this morning. We'll see that tape here momentarily. The president just wrapped. He's also talking about asking for more funding for the border wall, Tyler. So we'll also see some Q&A there with the reporters who were in the room, and we'll wait and see what the questions were that he got there.
Eamon, we're going to go to that playback tape, which you just referenced now as it is available. Let's listen to the president.
The top of your game, the fact that today's Supreme Court ruling just coming out, a tremendous success, a tremendous victory for the American people and for our Constitution. This is a great victory for our Constitution. We have to be tough, and we have to be safe, and we have to be secure. At a minimum, we have to make sure that we vet people coming into the country. We know who's coming in. We know where they're coming from. We just have to know who's coming here. The ruling shows that all of the attacks from the media and the Democrat politicians are wrong, and they turned out to be very wrong. And what we're looking for as Republicans, I can tell you, is strong borders, no crime. What the Democrats are looking at is open borders, which will bring tremendous crime. It'll bring MS-13 and lots of others that we don't want to have in our country. It'll bring tremendous crime. So I will always be defending the sovereignty, the safety, and the security of the American people. That's why I was put here. We're discussing today the funding of the wall, which we very much need. We started the wall. We're spending a lot of energy and a lot of time, and started up in San Diego and other places. It's under construction now. We have $1.6 billion. But we're going to ask for an increase in wall spending so we can finish it quicker. It stops the drugs, it stops people that we don't want to have, and it gives us security and safety. And with that, I think we might just take a quick spin around the room, talk to a couple of the folks, and maybe Senator, I'll ask.
All right, we're going to pull out of that tape while the other members of Congress who are in the room talk. But let's bring back Eamon Javers, who's at the White House, also Kayla Tausche, who's covering trade for us. Eamon, no surprise to hear the president take a victory lap on the Supreme Court's decision.
Yeah, look, he feels vindicated, and the Supreme Court definitely vindicated his position in this argument. The president there saying that all the attacks from the media, Democratic politicians were wrong. Our position was right. And ultimately, this was a decision that came down to presidential authority. The Supreme Court writing in this opinion that they released this morning from Chief Justice John Roberts that ultimately, whether or not this was a Muslim ban, the president's intent, you've got to look at the letter of the executive order as it was written and whether or not that violates the Establishment Clause. Not very much focused on the president's previous tweets and statements about banning Muslims from the country. They said that you have to look at the merits of this particular case and judge it on the merits of this particular case. So a big win for the president, and he's feeling it today.
He was talking a little bit about the wall, said he wanted to address that with the senators in the room. Does this buy him more political capital on that front?
Well, it buys him political capital in the immigration debate, right? You remember the president's fighting on a multi-front war here on immigration in terms of the issue of the children of illegal immigrants in certain cases who came across the border being separated from their families. The president suffered a significant reversal on that, had to back down last week. This, though, brings more fuel to his argument that there is a national security threat from people who are coming from certain countries overseas into the United States. That'll buoy his position up on Capitol Hill. The question really, in terms of Congress, is this is a midterm election year. Is there time enough for them to do anything in the remainder of this year? And do Republicans on Capitol Hill really want to cut large checks for border wall funding? There are a bunch of appropriators in the room with the president here today. Those are the members of Congress who have the power of the purse. So he's speaking directly to that audience when he talks about funding for the border wall.
So you see this decision strengthening his hand with respect to dealing with the families that have been detained and in some cases separated at the southern border of the United States.
Well, there's no question, Tyler, politically this is a much better week for the president than last week was. And so he's looking to maximize that political advantage right now in talking about this on national television. I'm sure you'll see him talk about it again in the hours and days to come. When you're winning, you want to keep winning. And that's what the president's doing right here.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.